So first and foremost, guys, we're going to get our training schedule back up. I know yesterday we had we kind of rushed this little last piece because I want to make sure that we start doing the necessary work that we need to actually generate more deals. Okay. I think the function of the things that we got to do are important. So we're going to get back to the very basics. And it can seem a little tedious. It can seem like, okay, I already know this shit, Herb, but it seems like it's got to be done repetitive, right? Mr. Giancarlo knows this as an athlete, repetitive, going back and forth, making sure that you're disciplined and that you're consistent and that you're continuously working on your craft. So this is what this is about. And I've tailored this not to just be for us as realtors, it's also for us as lenders, okay? Because it's very important for us to make sure that we remove the labels. Everybody under this roof is a salesperson, okay? And we're going to see the difference between the two as we go further in this training. But mainly what I really want to emphasize, we're all salespeople. And whether it be a realtor, lender, or even within a subsection of realtors and even subsections of lenders, there's realtors that are just probate realtors and 1031 realtors. There's first-time homebuyer realtors. There's the list goes on, and then the same for lenders, right? Lenders that specifically work stated document loans, hard money loans, or your traditional agency loans. Okay, so let's get started. Here's the big thing, okay? We have to keep in mind what it is that we're in. And whether you're a realtor, whether you're a lender, you're in the real estate business, right? Real estate is a challenging but rewarding career that requires, number one, dedication, hard work, and the willingness to learn. Okay, a productive real estate agent is someone who can balance prospecting, property showings, administrative tasks, negotiations, and networking to build a successful career. Okay, and so this applies to both tracks, realtors and lenders, but I really want to focus on the first sentence, okay? It requires dedication, hard work, and a willingness to learn. Too many people in our industry don't actually take the time to really understand what it is that they're doing. I'll give you myself, for example. Way back when I first started in this business, the first thing I showed up, like I got my license, and I remember it was a day in November, and I remember it like it was yesterday because I'm like, wow, dude, I'm gonna have so much money now. I showed up the first day to Bona Real Estate, which is a little chain in the San Fernando Valley of real estate brokerages. And I walk in, talk with the broker. I'm excited. He gives me, a Thomas guide. I have my planner from the title company, a notepad, pens. And he's like, okay, go get business. And I was like, okay. And I go into the next room, which was at the pit back in that office. And there was like, hustle and bustle of busy agents. No one was really talking to me. I didn't know how to work the MLS. I'm like, where's the trainings? Oh, they're not here in this. They're not here in this building. We have it at our headquarters in Pasadena. I'm like, oh my God, really? I took the bus to get here. So it was kind of like an inconvenience. And eventually I realized that it wasn't an easy business, and that the first day I wasn't going to make those millions, that I had to dedicate myself, that I had to put in a lot of hard work, and I had to have the willingness to learn this craft, okay? And quite honestly, it's a body of work over years. They don't give the money away, people. And I really think that that's the first thing that I want everybody to understand. This isn't given to you at any point. You should not take it for granted. You should not at all have an expectation of a real estate brokerage, whether it be this one or the next one or anyone here locally or anyone anywhere in the country. It's all going to be incumbent of you. Okay. It's how hard you're going to work on this, how dedicated you're going to be to your craft, and then have that willingness to learn, which I commend everybody that's here, because you have that willingness to learn. We have to be coachable. That's one of the first things that we come away from with the Tom Ferry School of Real Estate is you have to be coachable. We have to accept that we don't know everything, right? And also, nor do I. We have to come with an open mind and accept what is a real estate culture. And we have to make sure that we immerse ourselves in the right one. And what I mean by that is some real estate companies are just old stuffy. They're just like kind of to themselves. They've been doing this for 30, 40 years. I know brokers that don't invest in their businesses anymore. And they're now just kind of like, all right, living high off the hog and just kind of going through the motions. Agents and lenders are just on a conveyor belt and a rotating door. They're coming in and out. And then that's a whole business. You have to be a part of the culture of real estate, which is now incumbent of you. The good thing is, I believe that we have a fantastic culture here at this company, and I want to make sure that everybody immerses themselves in it. Part of that is being in the office, coming at least once or twice a week to see how everything is working, because the inner mechanics will help you become a productive realtor or mortgage professional. Okay. Now, here's the next part of this, okay? You, as an individual, have to remember that you're a business. You're a business within a business, okay? And one of the big, most important things about this is the fact that you have to balance prospecting, making appointments, administrative tasks, your negotiations, and your networking. Now, a couple things with that. Here's one of the advantages here. We kind of take on your, task when it comes with your deals once you have them in escrow. We kind of take that with the management team, and you don't have to really focus on that too much because that is very time consuming. However, there's still administrative tasks that you have to set yourself up with for your personal organization. You still have to create templating for the offers that you're going to submit. You have to still make sure that your MLS is on point. There's nothing like seeing, the incorrect information or the emails go out and I see that the agent hasn't even taken the time to organize it and put their license number in, their contact information. It still says the generic sample text. What's that say? Ipsa lorem, right? Where no one's touched it, but it's there as a placeholder. That's embarrassing. But we have to, again, and I'm going to keep saying it again so it burns in everybody's mind, have to have a healthy respect for your profession. This is your career. All right. Don't disrespect it. Okay. Because if not, others will disrespect it. When you hear that relative that's at the party and they're saying, hey, is this what you really do? You don't want them to diminish how important it is. So you have to carry that forward on your own and make sure that you treat it as the most important thing in your professional career. So networking is one thing that is probably something that we don't really focus on too much, but I will tell you, it is incredibly important for you to network outside of just us in this building. And some of us have zero efforts with respect to networking. That's something that I really want to emphasize because even for our lenders, it's absolutely crucial. It's absolutely crucial because yes, as much as I want you to definitely focus on getting the business here, I also want you to emphasize trying to recruit new agents, not necessarily to the brokers, but to your realm of in your book of business. Try to make sure you maximize this, because I'll tell you, there's too many lenders that I know that have 5, 6, 7 realtors that are consistently giving them business, and they average 20 to 25 loans a month. Remember, the loan game's a volume game, okay? And for my real estate professionals, you want to make sure that you're out there networking with people, not just other realtors, not just go to the local mixer at the DAOR so you can get fucked up. You know, you want to go and actually meet people in the industry, right? Talk about, let's go to a convention where there's other maybe professionals that have similar interess. I see a lot of golf tournaments that make sense. I see a lot of different community events that I would love for everybody to take part in. But sometimes you can't just wait for the company to bring that to you. You have to take the initiative for yourselves, okay? And that sometimes can be a little bit easier. So think about that as a whole. So in order to prioritize all those things that I just mentioned, the number one thing to be able to balance your business is to create a schedule and to actually have effective time management. If this is really something that's important to you, and if this is really a business that you're going to dedicate yourself to, you're going to maximize the most out of, you're going to have effective time management. Okay, now we've done this before. We've already gone through the motions with it, but it's important because it should be a part of your daily tasks. If you don't have a schedule, you're going to shoot from the hip. It's going to look like you're shooting from the hip. And quite honestly, you're going to find yourself missing out on other opportunities, not making the most of your time. And really, you're going to have business kind of slip through your fingers. And that's something that honestly,
Another shooting.
avoid. Okay, so that you can avoid. So create a schedule. Make sure that you map out your personal time in there as well. Make sure that you go through your day and you have a checklist of the items that need to be taken care of, so that way you are being productive. If you don't have it, you're going to forget things. You're not going to make the best use of your time, and you're going to miss out on opportunities. Make sure that as you're going through your day, prioritize important tasks first. I know that I've shown you guys this before, the grid, right? On the top left corner, you have the most important, incredibly urgent items of your day that you must tackle. The second, very important, not urgent. And then you go to the next grid. Not important, not urgent. And then you have your last one where you're just barely getting stuff going, things you should probably do. If you go and have your task list and you go through it and you have it written down, you're going to minimize your procrastination, for one. You're going to knock things off much more quickly because you're organized, and you're going to be like a sniper. Okay, I got to call Wendy. She's interested in the property. Boom. I got to go ahead and make sure I follow up with Sarah, the lender. She pre-approved so-and-so, and I need to make sure that I get my DU and everything to start showing the properties. You know, you start going through your task list. Now you have all your important items taken care of, so that way you can time block for what's important. Okay. Prospecting. If you're not prospecting every single day, you're not doing this job right. If you're not trying to meet new clients and get new business every single day, you're not doing this right. Okay? This is probably the most important part. You have to be able to prioritize prospecting daily. Now, does it mean do it for 6 hours? No. You wouldn't go into the gym and spend 6 hours and expect to lose 50 pounds, right? Make sure you dedicate 1 to 2 hours to prospecting. Prospecting we'll cover further in this presentation, but it should include a multitude of types of prospecting, but make sure that you're actually doing it daily. From prospecting, you should be able to breed some results. How do you breed some results? Appointments. You should be going on appointments or setting up appointments every single day. Okay. It shouldn't be just prospecting for you to, speak to your friends or past clients and it goes nowhere. Try to set up some sort of meaningful appointment so that way you can turn that appointment into a client, into an actual the person that's going to transact. Okay. Make sure that you have the time, especially for the lenders, to network. Now, this doesn't have to be daily, but it should be at least 1 to twice a week. Okay. And networking for realtors it could be so much, but the caravans, I know Giancarlo was asking me about that when he first came back. Is there a weekly caravan? I'm like, yeah, there is, but there isn't really local. But the thing about it is those are great networking opportunities. Social media posts. Let's not forget that social media is, in this century that we live in, the most powerful way for you to get one message across to multiple people. Could be hundreds, depending on the people that you have. If you're investing a little bit of money in it, it could be thousands and tens of thousands at a time. Make sure that you schedule it because you want to make sure that you time block this so that way you're sending an effective message. It could be a market update like I try to do every week, or it could be something that you're planning in advance. I've seen realtors map themselves out for 30 days, okay? And they have a schedule for that. And they can attack that every single day, and they're putting out the content as they see fit. They don't need to spend money on an editor or a marketer. I mean, I see actually sometimes the most effective professionals, whether they're lenders or realtors, being candid and just being consistent, okay? So make sure that you're time blocking for that. And here's an idea, guys. Make sure you time block for getting new information about the market. What an idea, right? We're going to be experts. You have to know what's going on. You have to know the programs if you're a lender. If you don't know the programs as a lender, then you're doing something wrong. That's the surefire way to kind of embarrass yourself in front of another realtor or a client that's savvy. Make sure that you know this information so that way you're able to provide the best service and the best product. For my realtors, you have to know the local market. You have to know what's going on. It can be as local as Downey. It could be as wide as Southern California. You should know that the Federal Reserve is meeting today, for example. You should know what's going on with inflation. You should be able to have these conversations with people, right? You should be able to know the programs that are available for down payment assistance. This is for both, right? You need to have this on your tool belt, because if you don't have it, then how can you best service your clients? And the client will read through that. They'll read through it, and then they'll kind of expose you as just kind of being another salesperson. And then they're saying, well, what's the difference from Herb to John to this other person? I want to make sure that we're working with someone that's going to help me get to the goal. So make sure that you're spending time obtaining market knowledge. And we're going to break that down further too. Okay. So next, and probably most important, make sure you schedule your personal time that you're going to head to the gym, Go for some time with your kids. Whatever's important to you. No one's saying that the daily life of a successful real estate pro, whether it be lender or realtor, involves you giving up on everything that's important to you. I know that so many of you have different personalities and different things that are going on in their lives. Make sure that you schedule the time so that way it doesn't affect you with regard to the things that you have to do. Some of us have spouses. Okay, make sure you schedule that. Reason that I say schedule personal time, that stuff comes back. If you don't exercise, or if that's something that's important to you and it's no longer something that you're doing because you're so focused on everything else, that'll begin to drag you down because it's a part of who you are. It's important that you do that. Same with the spouse, want to dedicate the time. Same with your children if you have them. You want to make sure you prioritize them so that way those things don't come and affect your business. Happy person is a productive person. So time block your personal time. Here's a sample schedule. It's just something I got off of Tom Ferry. Okay, it's nothing specific. I know it can kind of seem kind of small, just kind of copy pasted it. Okay, but it really is something that, it's as simple as this: breaking down times and focusing it around what it is that's important to you. This one starts off with meditating, exercising, or reading. Okay, shower and get ready, follow up. Then you get into check your email, responding to urgent messages or leads. Okay, time to review your calendar and prioritize your tasks. Okay, attend your morning sales meetings, trainings, webinars. This is a great opportunity to network with other agents, so on and so forth. Follow up with potential clients and schedule appointments for property showings. Make sure to keep track of all your leads and keep them organized using a CRM software or spreadsheet. Eat lunch, okay? Recharge for the rest of the day. Use showings, go with clients, show different properties based on preferences. Let's see, it provided them valuable insights to the local real estate market. Conduct market research and analyze the latest data and the properties in your area. This helps you better understand the market and provide your clients with accurate information. Prepare and send out listing presentations. I know Tom Ferry has one. Send a CMA a day to your local market. That's like easy. It costs 50 cents, maybe another $1 for an envelope, the paper. Send that out daily. It will breed results. Attend networking events, build relationships with other industry professionals. Great way to expand your network and generate new leads. Something to add to that. Another reason you do want to network as much as you can is to build those relationships with other professionals when you have offers. So for the lenders, you have a realtor that you know well, and say Giancarlo and Bernadette are working on a deal. Giancarlo submits an offer. Hey, you know what? Hey, Giancarlo, I, Bernadette, know this realtor. I know him from the other networking event from the other day. It's going to be easier to bridge that gap when we have multiple offers and 20 to 25 interested parties, right? So this is why it's important to get to know your local market, get to know the people there, and immerse yourself in this culture, because it's going to help you build relationships going forward. Okay. Follow up with your clients and leads, schedule appointments for the following day, and make sure you keep track of everything. So this is just a sample schedule, right? Could seem pretty detailed, right? There's no right or wrong way of doing this. But I think the main thing that I'm trying to get across to everybody is do it. Do what works for yourself, but make sure that you schedule it, because that way you're going to be more effective. I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not reinventing the wheel with this. Okay. This is what effective, successful professionals do. But the whole thing of it is most people don't do it. And that's what we're trying to break away from. If we schedule ourselves and schedule our fun time, we schedule our work time, you're going to knock it off. And I mean, knock it off. I mean, knock it off your task list. I mean, right? So, and as you go through that, you're going to feel more fulfilled. And if you're more fulfilled, you're going to be more effective. It all comes back to your mindset. The more that I work and are productive, it's going to make me feel better. It's going to generate more business because I'm more productive. It's going to make me feel even better. Now I'm going to be a top producer. I'm going to feel fantastic, right? And all the while, the rest of the other parts of your life are going in harmony along with it. And you're continually adding to your book of business because you're continuously prospecting, which will continue to make you feel better. Do you see how that cycle goes? But so few are so against doing something as simple as this. This is probably the easiest thing to do. Let's do it. Prospecting. Again, this is, if you're not prospecting daily, you're not doing this right. And this is where most of us are setting ourselves up to fail. Okay. This is urgent. It's an epidemic in our industry because we want to just have our hands out, expecting money to land in it. This is where the dedication, hard work, and consistency come from. Prospecting. And it starts out by setting up and organizing your CRM for success. We have Follow-Up Boss, and very easy to use, user-friendly system. Make sure that you organize it so that way you have the appropriate tags, the appropriate action plans, the appropriate templates. This is what it takes, right? That you have to work on your business. So that way, as something comes in, you're able to fire it off very, very quickly. Give you an example. You know, you get a lead that comes in, but you're driving and it's a nurture lead, says the text. How easy would it be if you could just simply take 2 taps while you're at a red light and send off that message and get that engagement going? Or add them to the appropriate action plan. Or even better, if it's a nurture lead that wants a text only, you can get an action plan already set up for that. You can work with Kim on something like that. But the point of it is, you have to, set yourself up accordingly. You have to organize your CRM. You have to make sure it's there to help you, not be like, okay, I'm trying to figure this out while the lead just came in. Now I'm trying to add, the template. You know what? I forgot the call. I'm going to call from my phone. Now I can't hear how and critique myself, hear how the call went, or add background notes. I can't do any of it because you weren't organized. So set up and organize that CRM so that way it can help you work smarter, not harder. Okay? Make sure that you follow up with your hot leads first. Let's go back to that grid, and I'll send you guys all that grid from before. I owe you the articles from yesterday. I just remembered, so I'll make sure that's up there too. I'll do that right after the meeting so I don't forget myself. But I'll put that grid up. I'll put that grid up there so that way you can prioritize following up with your hot leads first. So you're out there, you're on Zillow and you're talking to people, and you have some great conversations with hot leads that are looking to buy now. Those are the ones you're going to call first. Do you necessarily want to focus your morning or your follow-up with nurture leads? No. You want to make sure you follow up with the people that are ready to transact right now. I'm actively looking to sell. I need to get pre-approved. I sent out my needs list to my clients. Did I follow up though? Did I check in with them to see if they actually submitted their application? Did I run credit? All that stuff. That's who you want to follow up with first. Anybody that's looking to transact now, you go through those. You want to make sure you call to check in with your past clients. Those are the people that you've already transacted with. And guess what? If they've already transacted with you, they're more likely to do what? Transact with you again. So you want to make sure that you make that a part of your daily routine. Now, do I say call the same guy over and over again? No, you're going to antagonize them. But make sure you reach out to all of your clients, so that way you're probably at least hitting them once a month to check in with them, give them valuable knowledge. It could take 5 to 10 minutes to have a quick conversation with them. It could develop to a longer one, but I promise you that check-in is going to yield incredible results with providing you referrals, which, by the way, every one of us at this company gets paid more for. So if you're not doing this and checking in with your past clients, you're leaving money on the table, and you're leaving yourself exposed to other competing professionals to do so. So, guys, I want to make sure that I stress this as much as possible. If we're not following up with our past clients, we're leaving ourselves open for them to be taken from us, for them to start transacting with other people, or for them to forget about you. And let's say now, oh, my cousin needs to buy. Hey, Herb, do you know someone that is looking to buy or sell? No, I don't know. And then that's when you lose the opportunity. Geez, I keep clicking on that. So you want to stay top of mind all the time. Call new leads or nurture leads last, but make sure that you reach out to them. Okay? Because if you don't reach out to them, you don't know the possibilities. When you have nurture leads and you find yourselves in that situation, if you're not continuously reaching out to them, you don't know if it's going to breed any results. And what I mean by that is, following up with nurture leads usually takes anywhere from 15 to 25 times for them to actually answer you. But you know that they're interested in finding out more information about buying, selling, or getting a loan. So if you set up your action plans accordingly, they're being connected with at least once a day, once a week, once a month. We have through the company our newsletter that goes out from time to time every month, and that newsletter will also touch them as well, right? So you want to make sure that that's turned on through your CRM, because some agents have their own stuff going out, so we don't automatically turn it on for everything other than Zillow leads, okay? But the point of it is, they're being touched. You should make it a point, because they're being touched on, meaning they're getting marketing sent to them, to see if they're actually opening the marketing, and then create a conversation around it. Have a lead that you spoke to 3 months ago comes in, you're seeing it, they're opening the emails. Hey, listen, I know that you opened our open house newsletter. Our company has some great listings right now. Would you be interested in checking any of them out? Or create a conversation around that. But the point of it is, you're going to be able to generate business based off of that. You have to actually follow up. So make this a part of your daily prospecting. Make sure that prospecting breeds at least 2 to 3 appointments. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of appointments every day. But I'll tell you, when you're making appointments with leads, with referrals, with all of it, door knocking, or anything that your door knocking breeds, most of them are going to cancel. Most of them reschedule. Remember, it's sales. People don't have that commitment until they get to a certain point in the process, and you have to accept that. So if you're making 2 to 3 appointments daily, you know, and you know, 5 times a week, that's 15 at most, times 4, that's 60 appointments, times 12. You know, now you get the idea. Now it's like what, more than what's close to 700 appointments, right? And are you going to go on all of them? No, but you're going to be able to increase your odds of success, which is the point. So often, if you don't organize yourself and you don't have a system in play, none of this actually is able to kind of bear fruit, because it's hard to do what we do, guys. I know some of you don't know it. Most people don't have deals every single month or every single week. At the company, we have them, you know, in abundance, right? So I want everybody here to take part in this, to take advantage of that. Because if you don't, you're going to be missing out on that particular opportunity, because you're in that culture. You can be a part of it. It's easy for you to succeed with that. Okay. So make sure that you're scheduling your appointments and that you're, you know, organized with your CRM. And again, if you're not working on a farm, whether it be by your house or here by the office or in a neighborhood of your choosing, you're missing out on business, because you want to brand yourself. Some of you are great at branding yourself on social media. It's the same idea. I guarantee you, one of the days of the week, if you were just to hit 20 houses a week and you had a 400 house farm, whether you're a lender or a realtor, and you hit that 20 houses a month or a week, it's going to breed results. You're going to be branded in that neighborhood, and they're going to see you coming every single time. That requires consistency. For it to work, that has to be a consistent effort. And you knowing that it isn't going to pay you anything for 12 to 18 months. You have to win the battle in your mind that your efforts right now in this second, just like if you were in the gym, you're not going to lose 50 pounds by going once. You're going to need to go every single week for this to work, or make it a part of your daily routine, whatever. If you time block an hour and no one's home and you're knocking on the door and you have the conversations, you should hit anywhere from 10 to 15 houses if you're doing it daily. But if you just block out a couple of hours once a week, you should hit about 20 houses. You hit 20 houses once a week, believe me, by the time that you've come around that farm, it's going to be 2 or 3 months later. But at least now you're continuously present in your farm, and it's going to breed results. Okay, that's how you'll brand yourself, and you'll get the listings for that area, or you'll be the local lender for that area. Next, and this is one that is very important. Along with all the stuff that we're kind of covering, and this is something that's new, I don't want it to only be focused on sales. It can't only be focused on sales, right? It can't be just your sales techniques. How are you going to get to the appointment? How are you going to bring them into the office? Well, I also want to make sure that you guys are absorbing and retaining information, so that way when you're having the conversation with a client, you're going to be able to have an intelligent, articulate conversation, so that way you can leave a positive, long-lasting impression on the client. Okay? You need to know the data with regard to inventory. This is a number one thing, whether it is for a loan or for just a CMA in real estate or for a buyer. This is incredibly important. The inventory as it stands right now is so low, and if you don't know it, it's going to expose the conversation, because you're probably going to go down the rabbit hole of speaking of something that makes no sense. You have to know where the inventory is at, especially because it changes from area to area. So if you're showing houses in Whittier versus showing them in Linwood, it's gonna be completely different. Okay. So make sure that you understand those statistics, make sure that you're retaining that information, make sure that you're doing this. It's on the MLS, it's on your actual MLS app. Okay. You can do it on your phone. Look at what's going on, see how many new homes are coming on the market, see how many homes are being sold, how many pendings, how long they're on the market for, because it's going to tell you how long it's going to take for you to sell a house. And you knowing that and being able to convey that message to a client is going to help you get them sold, help you win the conversation with them. It's a great icebreaker too. New developments, there are very few. So that should be easy for you to find out. Here locally, there isn't much. Heading out eastward, Riverside counties, there's going to be some more. But being able to identify different opportunities is going to help you breed better results. Okay. Because look, there's nothing like wanting to buy a new house. You want to know what comes with that. What is a new development going to make you commit to? Using their real estate team. What's the second thing? Using their loan team. Why is that a bad thing? How many of you could answer that? That's as important. First and foremost, why wouldn't you want to just have your client go to the new development? Because they're going to take your commission. Number one, they're going to say immediately they show up, it's gone. Hey, we got to deal with them. Second, for the lender, the second thing's the loan. Did you know that this is a new thing that even the big lenders that we have, like Loan Depot, Rocket Pro, are now trying to eliminate real estate people altogether and the lender. And what they're doing is they're taking away from your client and they're pulling the wool over their eyes because they're doing it through the loan. So they're replenishing that money by screwing them on the mortgage, because that's where you can hide a lot of those funds and fees. So this is important for you to understand, to be able to explain to your client, so that way they are now educated, and when they're going to these new developments, they know what to expect. New builds make up about 10 to 15% of the available inventory today. And that's considerable. And even though we're not seeing this, rampantly, you still have to know about it, because honestly, the only alternative right now for someone that's getting beat out on houses, because that's coming up, is for them to go to these new developments, because all you have to do is put like a $1,000 deposit on a house and it's yours. It's like you walk into the store. So understand what comes with that and be able to have that conversation with the client, because if not, you'll be on the outside looking in. I had a good client. I'd been working them. I've been taking them everywhere. They went to a new development and they ended up buying there. And now I'm missing out. Okay. Understand the demographics, who's buying, who's selling. This is important for anybody who's going to be taking a listing, as to who is going to be purchasing that property. Who buys in Highland Park versus who's going to buy in Downey, California? Who's going to buy in Santa Monica, California? It's not going to be a person fresh out of college going to buy a 4-bedroom house in Santa Monica. Yeah, right. That's going to be some doctor who's married to an attorney that is very successful that are purchasing. You want to understand who you're going to be preparing that listing for. And when you're taking that listing presentation, who you're going to be talking to. Understand the demographics of the neighborhood. What's the difference between Pico Rivera and Downey, California? About $70,000 in median income. Very different conversations. So if you don't have that information, and if you don't have an understanding of that, when you're taking that listing and your competitor has it, well, guess who's going to win that appointment? Who's going to win that listing? So very important that we understand demographics. Economic indicators. This one, if you don't have any idea of what's going on with rates, with the government, how external items affect your industry, it's going to expose you. If you can't explain why the federal funds rate isn't the exact same rate on a mortgage, that's a problem. That's a problem because it's very easy to understand. Those are economic indicators, and that's changing again today. All right. The difference between the two, for those that don't know, is that's just what the government, the Federal Reserve, charges the primary investors, which are Chase, Bank of America, the money to lend on, which as of today should be 5.25%. If something's changed, I will see. But you want to be able to explain that to your clients and how it affects how they get their mortgage rates, how it affects their credit cards. This is a part of being a professional. It's a part of being well-rounded and being able to have this conversation, because this is how you're going to get around, oh, well, the housing market's going to crash. Well, no, these are the indicators that were happening at the time that occurred. If you look over the last 6 recessions, that's happened once. If we look over the last 95 years, there's only been two times: the Great Depression and 2008. Let's look at these economic indicators. Inflation is this. This is what's going on with regard to the Federal Reserve raising the key rate and what we can expect going forward. And if you have that kind of conversation with a client, you're going to win them over, because the competition doesn't have this kind of information. This is why market research is incredibly important. Okay. Local regulations and zoning. I learned this one the hard way when I didn't know that a property in unincorporated LA County in 2018, that was not rent controlled. In 2020, it was very rent controlled. And I found myself looking down the barrel and thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get sued, because we ended up purchasing a property for one of my top clients. And now he was looking to evict and reset the market. And that was impossible. And that was done through my, I guess, ego, because I just assumed everything was going to apply like it always did. And it just doesn't. Okay. So understand local regulations. And if you're looking to do anything that's multi-unit, or if you're, especially now that we're in a situation where the entire state is giving leeway to ADUs, you want to understand what the zoning is for any of the markets that you're working in. I mean, even taking a quick look on where a client is interested in purchasing is going to help you do that. So make sure you take the time to do a little bit of research. Guys, you got to work on your craft, okay? And if you don't have this information, what else? I mean, I don't know what to tell you, because you're not going to have the tools necessary for you to have fruitful and successful and articulate conversations. Lastly, know who's selling. Trust me, believe me, I know who my competition is. You should too. Why would you want to know that? Well, you want to know who's taking the listings, who's selling the most mortgages, what banks are they using? What programs do they have? What are they doing for their marketing? Are they doing mailers? Are they door knocking? Are they investing in Zillow? Are they focusing on their online leads? Are they at the community events? Are they investing in the local the junior baseball league? It just doesn't matter. You just have to be able to look and see at what's happening around you so you can pivot yourself. And sometimes that will reveal a lot about the local market in the way that they approach it. And take a look at where else there's opportunities for you to take advantage of. Maybe Berdalis doesn't do this particular 400 house farm. Maybe this is where I want to focus on. Is where's the turnover the highest? Hey, you know what? This is my opportunity here. Let me take a look at what the local top lender is doing. Are they refinancing everybody in this track? No. All this information is free and out there. You just have to look at it and be able to understand what you're looking at, analyze it, and attack. But that's why it's important. Remember, the more you know, the more you know. So next, here's a breakdown of the habits and characteristics of top producers versus the rest. There's a reason, guys, that only the average realtor sells approximately 4 to 6 houses annually. Okay. You have to consistently prospect and generate leads. Yes, the company's going to give you leads. That's not enough. You have to generate your own leads. Okay. What the company provides you is a crutch to your success. Okay. But it should not be the only means to your success. You should not rely on just referrals. Okay. Which is essentially what that is. The company's referring you a lead. Right. So make sure that you consistently prospect and that you're generating your leads. Follow up. Remember, that's a part of your prospecting. Promptly follow up with leads and your clients. If you have poor follow-up, you're going to miss opportunities. Okay. Communication. Strong communication skills. Keep your clients informed. Don't just show them a house and write an offer and you send them the offer. Don't explain it to them. It's in your inbox. Just sign it. What am I signing? Come on. Inadequate communication. You fail to keep the clients updated. It's going to just result in a disaster. You're going to lose the client or you're going to have an unhappy client. Okay. Strategic and consistent marketing efforts. Your social media should be on point. Your door knocking should be on point. You should try to network at the local community events. You should try to take advantage of what the company offers, right? Hey, there's a suite with their logo in it. What's that? Well, you know what? Why don't you come ask me? Let's have a conversation. Take a video of it. I mean, these are all branding opportunities that are very easy for you to take advantage of. Okay. Develop strong negotiation skills. This is something that's going to be seen in your market research, working on your craft, through experience, through being a part of the company culture. Okay. If you, again, don't show up, don't come to the trainings, you're not going to know what to say, you don't do any research, it's going to show when you're having a conversation with another professional that knows and has that information. Make sure you have attention to detail. Ensure your offers are together, that you have your DUs, the pre-approvals, the FICO page, a explanation, a cover letter of what the client's looking to do. Okay. Actively work and build your network and relationships. Okay. That's a daily commitment. Make sure that you work on that. You're continuously learning. Continuously educate yourself on the trends, what's going on, the rates, the programs. Make sure you understand that. Pair up with a lender. If you don't, make sure you make it a part of your repertoire. Be organized. Have your CRM together. Make sure that you're setting yourself up for success. And lastly, and most important, having a good work ethic. And that's probably what's going to tie all this together for everybody. Is all this stuff is great. And I see people that go at this kind of like, we'll go hammer it for 1 week at a time and be set up. And then their work ethic falls off. Oh, I'm not going to catch that appointment. It's a Sunday. It's 4 o'clock. The game is on. Oh, dude, it's Friday. I have a date. I don't want to go. You know, the client can only see the house at this specific time, but I can't. You have to have good work ethic. And it sounds kind of crazy, but so few in our industry actually have good work ethic, which is, again, guys, why there's such a high failure rate. Remember, it's in the 98th percentile for this business. After 5 years, most people aren't in this business. And I'm showing you stuff that's not a secret. I found this all online, and it took me less than an hour to put it together. But I know this very well because I make sure that I make it a part of my business, and I try to schedule myself accordingly. Sure, it's not going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. But I think making sure that you have direction and you make a plan, you're going to succeed. It's going to eliminate a lot of the flaws that most people have in this business. Procrastination is the biggest one. Okay, especially because you have to have that self-motivated discipline. Most don't have it. So this is pretty much what it takes to show and have a successful business. And I would say for a lot of people, 1 deal a month would be a huge success because it's going to probably make you a 6-figure income. But I can tell you, if you were to do this, I'd be surprised if you weren't doing 1 loan or 1 sale every day. There's so many success stories that I could share with you that I know of people that are doing this daily, closing daily, and they develop their systems. Because trust me, after you have this, there's so much that actually comes after that. You build teams, and you build people, and you repeat the process. Now you have a team under you. Now Herb, we got to open a PLF in Santa Monica, or we're going to do one in Norwalk, Koreatown, whatever. And now you're building under it. Let's get an office manager. Let's get processes in here. Let's do this. It starts to web to a huge success. But again, we're now getting into a 1/10% of people that actually do this shit. So, and I know that everybody that's here are winners, and that you're going to succeed in building this for yourself. So, so this concludes the training. Does anybody have any questions on anything that I've shared, anything that they want me to elaborate, or anything that they want to share themselves?
No, I think it was really good. I appreciate the breakdown of the keys to success. So.
Awesome, guys. Perfect.
Thank you, Herb. I appreciate it as well, man. I think that you touched a lot of good points. It's like when you were talking, man, I felt like you were kind of talking to me directly at sometimes, because I don't have that consistency, or I'm not at the office when I should be. I need to be prospecting more. And it's like, I think I need to block my time, especially even with the personal stuff. So I think that there's a lot of points, man, that are very useful for all of us, because I think that we all kind of have that same struggle, but I think as long as that we're working and we're dedicating ourselves and we're getting that knowledge regarding the market and the programs and everything, I think that we're going to have to bring success, but it's like, I think that we do have to have that consistency. And I appreciate you for taking the time and talking to us, man, and letting us know and kind of pulling our ears a little bit and kind of like, letting us know, hey, you got to be doing this. And because you're looking out for us and it's really helpful. It's really good information. And I think that I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
And I'm grateful for you guys. And I appreciate you guys sharing, giving some feedback. We're going to be more consistent now that we have a lot of the stuff behind us. A lot of the administrative stuff is taken care of. And I know that everybody in here has what it takes. I know that you do. I've spent a lot of time with you guys individually talking, and I know that it's going to be only a matter of time. We just got to put in the work. Guys, great training. I will see you guys next. I will go ahead and set up a schedule so that way we can share it on Slack and you'll get it on your Google calendars as well. We'll be diligent about updating you and we'll go from there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Take care.
All right.